I'm joined by Liz Fuller. Normally I do one of these quick reaction videos just as soon as the feed is finished, but we're still on the lunch break now. I just did that one with Belinda Harvey that I've already uploaded, but I just wanted to have a quick chat with Liz really about what we'd heard so far from HN1, both like just heard, but just in general. You're actually able to see him in the courtroom. We're not going to speculate.
Yeah, I'm not going to speculate on who he is, but I can assure you that he is beginning to look considerably more rattled than he has over the last couple of sessions.
It must be incredibly difficult going through all these things again, so I don't want to kind of push on any of that, but have you been? Has any of his answers rung true to you? Do you feel like you're getting anything out of him? I mean, he's always trying to sort of. He claims he doesn't remember things so much. Do you think you're getting anything?
I think he's being very evasive, and then when he does answer questions, he asks them. He sometimes does it with this sort of mock kind of remorseful face and expression, which isn't reflected in his written reports at all, which were actually incredibly caustic and bordered on hostile. Yet now it's sort of oh well, obviously I went round out of concern, anybody would. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah absolutely. And I mean, I think he seems to be following this pattern we've seen from all the undercover cops of admitting to what is known, and then
evading the rest, totally evading the rest. Just, oh, well, politicians' answers, a few words, but they don't really mean anything. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really seems to be the pattern. And it seems that, there's more, which we saw a glimpse of it, I think, this morning when he talked about, I'll show a little less loyalty here, he said, when it was about the suspicions George had about him and that was communicated by Andy Coles to management that weren't passed on to him. And that seems to have been the most annoyed, certainly from I can tell, that he's sounded the whole time.
Yeah, possibly. I missed a little of it because I was late, so I will have to recap on it later. I mean, I'm going to listen to the first hour when I get home later. But yeah, that's sort of quite lightly, yeah.
I mean, his approach, like so many of these undercover cops, is that they're pretty sure they did nothing wrong. We heard on Wednesday when he gave evidence that when people hear the full details of the relationship he had with you, they'd understand it from his point of view. I don't think that's the case.
No, I don't think so either. At least I most certainly hope not. I mean, possibly people who might understand it from his point of view are these scumbags that have done exactly the same thing. But that's all. I can't think, who else would. But, yeah, he seems to sort of have, I don't know. He does seem to have a lot of confidence in himself. But as I said, he is umming and ahhing a little bit now, and he does look a little bit more rattled. And sometimes he even sort of seems to look a little bit guilty. I think it might be put on because I don't think he really gives a bloody stuff. I mean, he's probably got on with his life, had lovely holidays, lives in a wonderful cottage, and I don't think he gives a toss. So, he couldn't even remember the first time he stayed with me. You know what I mean? Do you remember when they brought that up in court and I went, how rude? But I remember vividly. So, but I can't think of anything else to say. Tom, if you've got anything to ask.
Yeah, no, sure. I mean, I was just, we always talk about that actually the audience they're concerned about is their current friends and family who they've been lying to for years about the reality of the situation, and they're speaking to them as much as anybody else.
Yeah, they are. And so I suppose, I don't know, they need to appear to have a level of, compassion and remorse, don't they? Because otherwise, what are their relatives and their friends going to think of them? Yeah, because they're going to hear that. So, yeah, they still want to appear a nice human being. They don't want to lose all their friends and be shunned from their social circles. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, he's doing a particularly bad job of that, I would argue. I'm always struck. I mean, obviously, I've seen all these undercover officers who've given evidence, and I always think, this is the worst one. And every time another one comes along, oh God, this is the worst one. And sometimes